Mastering the rise of ransomware. Ransomware attacks lurk in every vendor and partner. Why are there certain key considerations that its implementers should take into account when developing a third-party risk management strategy to effectively mitigate the risk of ransomware attacks originating from its vendors and partners? When developing a third-party risk management strategy to mitigate the risk of ransomware attacks originating from vendors and partners, there are several key considerations that implementers should take into account. Firstly, it is essential to establish a comprehensive inventory of all third-party vendors and partners, including contractors, suppliers, and service providers. This inventory should include a thorough risk assessment of each third party, considering factors such as the type of data shared, system access, and level of integration with the organization's systems. This will enable the organization to identify which third parties pose the highest risk and prioritize its mitigation efforts accordingly. Secondly, implementers should develop a robust due diligence process for onboarding new third-party vendors and partners. This process should include a review of the third party's cybersecurity posture, including its policies, procedures, and controls in place to prevent and respond to ransomware attacks. This review should be conducted regularly, at least annually, to ensure the third party's cybersecurity posture remains robust. Thirdly, organizations should establish clear contractual requirements and service-level agreements, SLAs, with third-party vendors and partners. These agreements should specify the expected cybersecurity controls and standards, including ransomware prevention and response protocols, and detail the responsibilities of each party in the event of a ransomware attack. Implementers should also ensure that contracts include provisions for incident response, notification, and escalation procedures. Fourthly, implementers should conduct regular security assessments and audits of third-party vendors and partners to validate their cybersecurity controls and identify vulnerabilities. These assessments should include network penetration testing, vulnerability scanning, and social engineering testing to identify weaknesses that could be exploited by ransomware attackers. Fifthly, organizations should establish a communication plan and incident response protocol for responding to ransomware attacks originating from third-party vendors and partners. This plan should specify the procedures for incident detection, reporting, and response, and detail the roles and responsibilities of each party involved. Sixthly, implementers should develop a training and awareness program for third-party vendors and partners to educate them on the risks and consequences of ransomware attacks and the importance of cybersecurity best practices. This program should include regular training sessions, phishing simulations, and awareness campaigns to ensure that third-party personnel understand the risks and know how to respond appropriately. Seventhly, organizations should consider implementing a fourth-party risk management program to monitor and assess the risk of fourth-party vendors and partners that are connected to their third-party vendors and partners. This is particularly important for organizations that rely on complex supply chains or have multiple layers of vendors and partners. Eighthly, implementers should establish a continuous monitoring program to stay informed about potential ransomware threats and vulnerabilities affecting third-party vendors and partners. This program should include threat intelligence feeds, vulnerability scanning, and penetration testing to identify potential weaknesses and respond quickly to emerging threats. Ninthly, organizations should develop a ransomware incident response playbook that outlines the procedures for responding to ransomware attacks originating from third-party vendors and partners. This playbook should specify the steps to be taken in the event of an attack, including containment, eradication, recovery, and post-incident activities. Tenthly, implementers should consider investing in cyber insurance that covers third-party risk and ransomware attacks. This insurance can provide financial protection in the event of a ransomware attack and help offset the costs of incident response and recovery. Lastly, organizations should establish a culture of transparency and collaboration with their third-party vendors and partners. This includes sharing threat intelligence, best practices, and lessons learned to help prevent ransomware attacks and improve the overall cybersecurity posture of all parties involved.